song. May my life be the earth. I believe I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be the song. May my song be the earth. Yes, yes, you already shot.
Yes, I believe I belong to the earth. I belong. Yes, may my life be a song. May my soul feed the earth. Yes, I believe I belong to the I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth. Yes, I believe I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth. Yes, I
Thank you everybody for coming today. My name is Randy Haluza DeLay. I work for Kairos, an ecumenical social justice and ecological justice organization sponsored by Canadian churches. This vigil is sponsored by two organizations, Climate Fast, climatefast.ca, because we need to address the climate fast. And the other organization is called For the Love of Creation, which is an interfaith, faith-based organization with 36 endorsing organizations, church agencies, ecumenical and interfaith networks. Again, thank you all for coming out here. I know it's cold. We've got some songs scheduled. We've got some prayers scheduled, some meditations, poem, and other things like that. We also have instead, we will at one point ask you share the wishes that if you're in the church and you wrote them down, share the wishes with each other. And I'll explain more about that when that's personal statement. The other will be that we will be putting out the candles to make a 1.5 degree symbol so that we can re-emphasize that is the goal. To try to hold the climate changes to 1.5 degrees Celsius as a global average. That's not going to be the temperature that all parts of the world stay at, though. That's the global average. It's important to recognize that not all regions of the world, nor all peoples of the world, experience the climate crisis the same. And henceforth, we need to emphasize the equity issues around climate change and really work for climate justice. So no matter who you are and no matter what faith tradition you come from, or even if you don't identify with any faith tradition, we welcome you. We're all welcoming to each other, and we want to keep that attitude because it is an important part of a just and sustainable world. We participate in this vigil to hold the future of the earth and all peoples and all beings in our minds, in our well wishes, in our prayers, and in our compassion. In one faith tradition in which I am associated, we typically hold to a process around issues like this to learn, listen, and see, and then to discern or judge prayerfully, and then to act. So how each of us acts will be different, but it is important that after learning, listening, and seeing, and discerning, that we do take action. So one part of that is writing letters to our Prime Minister, your members of Parliament, your city councillors, your members of the provincial legislature, the leaders of your churches, the CEOs of your corporations, the CEOs of banks that are supporting and enhancing and financing fossil fuel extraction, and so forth. We need to act. We need to talk about these issues for the importance to climate justice. Another way of putting what we intend to do with this vigil is that we lament what is going on with the earth and the beings in all of creation, and that we confess our part as human beings in it, and especially as Canadians who have had a larger than average impact on the changing climate and the emissions that are causing it. And thirdly, that we commit to doing something, to acting, as I said before. So at this moment, we're going to have a song, and I'm looking for the singers. I don't know if they went to. I'm not sure whether it is Suzanne or Cassie. Actually, we'll postpone that for just a second. Are you ready? Okay.
Sorry, I'm just having a quick rehearsal. Okay, so let's just do like a pair of our reps, right? Yep. 1 second. So just to turn up the second and the third one, and I should appear. There it is. Okay. Okay. This one is a little bit more up-tempo, a little bit, but it's still talking about the devastation. So this is a song, There Are More Waters Rising by Sarah Lynch Thomason, also American. Wrote the song in 2016 around the climate crisis. It's been sung around the world at climate events. So the text goes, there are more waters rising. This I know, there are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. there are more waters rising. In the second verse, we talk about the fires. There are more fires burning. This I know, there are more fires burning, this I know. There are more fires burning, they will find their way to me. More fires burning. Third verse, there are more mountains falling. She lives in the Appalachian regions. There are more mountains falling, this I know. They will find their way to me. And then at the halfway point of the song, it switches around. I will wade through the waters, this I know. So we're going to try and make a change. Then I will pass through the fires. I will rebuild the mountains. A little more hopeful in the second half after we know what's going on, that we can do something to try and make a difference. Okay, I'll sing the phrase again. Let's do it the same way. Cassie, sing after me, and I'll sing it and you sing with Cassie. There are more waters falling, this I know, this I know.
There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know.
Second half goes a little different. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me.
There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me.
There are more waters rising.
There are more waters rising.
This I know, this I know,
This I know, this I know.
There are more waters rising, this I know.
Let's just sing it? Yeah, let's go for it. Let's start with that first one.
There are
More waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know.
more fires burning.
There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know. There are more fires burning, they will find their way to me. There are more fires burning, this I know, this I know. There are more fires burning, this I know.
Mountains falling.
There are more mountains falling, this I know, this I know. There are more mountains falling, this I know. There are more mountains falling, they will find their way to me. This I know, there are more mountains I will wade through the waters, this I know, this I know. I will wade through the waters, this I know. I will wade through the waters when they find their way to me. I will wade through the waters, this I know, this I I will pass through the fire. This I know. I will pass through the fire. This I know. I will pass through the fire when they find their way to me. I will pass through the fire. This I know. This I know. I will pass through the fire. This I know. I will rebuild the mountains. This I know. This I know. I will rebuild the mountains. This I know. I will rebuild the mountains and they find their way to me. I will rebuild the mountains. This I know, this I know, I will rebuild the mountains, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know.
Good evening, everyone. The land we are standing on this evening is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Anishinaabe, Chippewa, Haudenosaunee, the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Innu, and Métis peoples. We acknowledge that Toronto was covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit. We recognize the marginalization of Indigenous peoples on this land to this day, and we pledge our collective efforts to remedy this colonial legacy. Since pre-colonial times, this land has been governed by the Dishwagwants-Willem-Wahom Covenant, a binding law between the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the Anishinaabe allied nations throughout the Great Lake region. One of its stipulations is that we must take only what we need and leave enough abundance for the human and non-human beings with whom we share the land. Indigenous land and water defenders across the globe are on the front lines of the effort to stop us from taking more than we need. An example relatively close to home over which we have direct influence is the widely known effort led by the Wet'suwet'en hereditary to stop the Coastal GasLink pipeline in BC. Building new infrastructure for fossil fuels, such as pipelines, is an example of taking more than we need. I urge people to connect with the decolonial solidarity efforts across this land, focusing on pressuring the Royal Bank of Canada to stop funding new fossil fuel infrastructure. If they do so, the rest will follow. We are gathered tonight because we all share a dream, one of a better world. Here is some advice from the beloved Ojibwe writer Richard Wagamese. How to make a dream come true. Don't focus on the dream or it will always remain a dream. Instead, focus on the first action you can take to bring that dream a little closer. Then take it. Now focus on the next action and take that. Each step brings closer to becoming the dream, closer to becoming reality. Why, you ask? Our elders teach that the dream world and the real world operate on the same energy. You link them through the power of choice. Choose action and the dream moves ever closer to the real.
You're here.
Thank you, Val. It's now my pleasure to introduce Zoe Curie-Matzner. And Zoe has been active since 2018 with Fridays for Future, and more recently with the lawsuit of the 7 young people that are taking Ontario to court for a proper climate target. So thank you very much, Zoe, for coming tonight. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Thank you. Hello. My name is Zoe. I'm 16 years old. I use she, her pronouns, and something that is kind of funny about tonight is that almost exactly a year ago, I think. Can't hear me? Oh, sorry. All good? Okay. So something that's interesting about tonight is that almost exactly a year ago, I gave a speech about COP26 in this exact spot. So I'm going to give a little part of that speech right now. So here's a quote. Imagine I'm 15 years old. For as long as I can remember, I have been worried about the climate crisis.
When I was little, I had to make a wish before blowing out the candles on my birthday cake. I would wish that the climate crisis would be solved. Now I'm older, and I know that a birthday wish is not going to solve this crisis. It's going to require people working together, and it's going to require governments to listen to the people. Here in Toronto, so many people are already working together on the climate crisis and on the interconnected crises of racism and inequality. People are organizing in their neighborhoods, in their schools, in community groups. We are planting food, we are campaigning for better transit, we are supporting migrant rights, we are standing up against racism. We are doing our part. But are our government leaders listening? Are they listening to us? It often seems to me that Mr. Trudeau and the leaders at COP are pretending to listen. They say nice words like sustainability and reconciliation. They say sustainability. Old growth forests continue to be cut down and industries continue to pollute the air, the lakes, and the forests. And they say sustainability, but too many people still don't have access to food and housing, and too many Indigenous communities don't have access to clean drinking water, while billionaires and oil companies grow richer and richer every day. This is not sustainable. And they say reconciliation, but Indigenous leaders continue to be arrested and jailed by the RCMP for defending their ancestral lands and waters against the constructions of pipelines. This is not reconciliation. And they say net zero by 2050, but Canada's emissions continue to rise. Right now, according to the Climate Action Tracker, Canada's emissions are in line with a catastrophic 4 degrees of warming, which is literally insane. Net zero by 2050 is a delay tactic. Net zero by 2050 is too late. We have to cut emissions in half by 2030. That's the number given to us by the scientists from the UN. When I first gave this speech, we had 8 years to do that. Now we have 7. And what has changed since then? We're still going full speed ahead. And our emissions are going up alongside our dependency on fossil fuels. Here's a metaphor. Our world, all our ecosystems, all our societies, everything is standing on the edge of a plank. Edging closer and closer to the tipping point, or the numerous tipping points, where the plank begins to tilt, and then we all fall. But we're not there yet. And that's the crucial thing. And we know exactly how to get out. We have all the solutions we need, and all we need is political will. We've been protesting for so long. I've given the same speech twice now. How many more times is it going to take before they listen to us? For some, protesting is almost a full-time job. Can you imagine what it would be like if everyone just did what they could where they were? The ripple effects would be massive. We will take action, even if our government refuses to. We understand that this is the crucial decade for action. Everything we do in the next 7 years will affect my generation forever. Everything we do in the next 7 years matters. We are here today, we are loud, and we are angry. When it comes to climate change, we know that there's so much that we can lose, but there's also so much that we can save. We have a world to save, let's get to work. Thank you.
Yay, Zoe.
Thank you very much, Zoe, the voice of our youth, and that's why we're here tonight, right? Absolutely. So I'm going to make a few comments and ask people to hold what I'm going to speak about. Hold Zoe, her generation, and the other creatures of the planet, the other people of the planet in mind while we're here tonight and in our hearts tonight. And then we're going to have a song, we're going to have a poem, and wishes. You made your wishes, you brought your wishes, so I hope people can hang in here for about 20 minutes. Are people good for 20 minutes? Right, great. I mean, we're sending a message, right? And we're gathering together for all of this. So this will be brief, and then we can have the next song. That'll warm us up. Okay, so we know there are very many suffering people around the world. In Pakistan, in Africa, where drought is threatening the lives of millions from famine. And here where the Arctic is melting at 3 times the rate of the overall warming, Indigenous peoples are affected by extreme weather, fires, and melting permafrost, as well as the fossil fuel extraction and industrial pollution. So let's reflect on the lives of all those currently affected by the climate crisis and on those who are young now, like Zoe, and their future world. Let's think about the decision makers gathered right now, just as we are gathered in Sharm el-Sheikh. Let's think about the human rights activists, the imprisoned, the Egyptians who are imprisoned, and all of civil society delegates, including the For the Love of Creation delegates. There are 10 delegates in Sharm el-Sheikh as we are here. Let us hold them in their hearts and pray that the decision makers will hold the balance of the world, our earth, in their hearts and minds. I'm actually going to ask Colleen to share a poem that she's written for tonight, and then we'll have the song, then we'll do the wishes, okay? All right, here we are. Thank you everyone for being here tonight despite the cold and holding all of those people and all the creatures around the planet, the whole earth, in our hearts. Okay, Colleen.
Home better be good.
I'm honored to share a poem. Poetry is another way that we can express our fears, of course, and our hopes. And so I have 2 short ones here tonight, and the second one has a little bit of interaction, if you will. But the first one's a bit of a personal reflection. It's called Wilds. Okay. Today, I stand guilty as charged. In my untended garden, overgrown and wild, as the force of a hurricane whirls out its testimony, all natural laws broken, science defied, insentient, alive, witness the intensity, the lengths we go to, survived by chance, driven to fight like the plants that find space among weeds. Invasive species take over. We're here when we moved in, a wild card seated in the mix. Inherent, held apart, sentient, unbalanced. We hold our own counsel. It's in us, the hurricane, as we try to court the storm's quiet eye, the negative space between leaves, where the air is freshest, where we can flourish, part of the wilds, and freed.
Lovely.
Right. My hands are cold. Okay, so this one is it was written for tonight. It's called Candles for COP27. And when I say we hold up the light, if you want to hold your light up, that would be fine. So, okay. We hold up this light, these candles for COP. See the earth dug up, see the rivers dry out, the systems corrupt. You can put them down again. These candles for COP flicker, fragile, waver in the onslaught. See the burning up, see the drowning out. Ask that it stop. Stand for, join hand to hand for, hold them up for. Light travels around the circle, around the world, fierce and bright. We hold up this light, these candles for COP. Reflect green fields, reflect blue streams, cool and clean. These candles for COP flicker, gentle, as we speak words for justice, words for healing, the hope we shape. Stand for, join hand to hand for, hold them up for, light does travel. Around the circle, around the world, warm and steady. One more time, we hold up this light, these candles for COP. Flames form and reform, form and reform, a world that's ready. These candles for COP flicker, curl, mimic the stars, nurture like firesides, nurture like soil, change as we watch.
Thank you. Beautiful, Pauline. So Cassie and Suzanne could come up and do another song for us. Thank you. And while you do, we're going to thank the Climate Justice Committee at Trinity St. Paul's for hosting us tonight. Yes. For the Love of Creation program, and Randy is here tonight. Randy Palooza Delay. Yes, and Pauline Lynch, who does share homes with us, part of Climate Fast. Zoe, Kiri, Matzner from Fridays for Future. So this is a collaboration. A thank you to Tim Ellis for the sound. Thank you for the sound, Tim. And a big thank you to Cassie and Suzanne for gracing us with music. Following this song, yes, thank you. Let's hear it for them. Let's have okay. Wishes and sharing your wishes together. Okay, so over to you for song.
Yeah, it's not on.
Oh, are you trying to use my old mix?
Oh,
yeah. Not using that.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm using this microphone.
All right.
It's a yes. Here I am. Okay, so we're gonna do a song of mine called "Water's Falling," and I'm just gonna get you guys in on the chorus, and if you can sing with me, you can sing the harmony part if you hear that with Suzanne, and she's gonna do some doot doot doos, and if you wanna join in that with too on the verses, that'll be good. So the words are, "Oh, the water's falling.
Oh,
the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. Oh, the water calls." Oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. Well, I'm in your blood and I feed your soul at everything that makes you whole. Yeah, the water that came and gave us day is the water that can take it all away. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. Well, inside you is the salty sea. Yeah, this all lands inside of me. And in the rain you can hear me sing. Oh, I remember everything. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. Well, you can have your oil and your factory farms, but don't you think I will do no harm. Yeah, I got the wind and the rain and the sea. I got everything inside of me. I said, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. I say, oh, the water's falling. Oh, the water calls. The wishes.
Okay, does everyone have their wishes with them? So this is a really simple exercise. We're just going to turn to our neighbor and take a couple minutes to express our wish. And then our neighbor can take our wish with them for the next few days and wish it for us. All right. Okay, so you can go ahead and just find a neighbor.
I'm gonna find someone who has a wish.
Demand action on my front. Bring it back, please. Can you guys? Are you? I don't know. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Good. And if you send that, yes, absolutely. Okay, where is the? Oh yes. Working on my
Are we supposed to drink?
What's your wish, Colin? Great. I wish for things I've wished for in the past. Clean air to breathe. Water that I would want to be able to drink from the river will make up. Yeah, and overrun with in cities.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Now that you've expressed your wishes to each other, and you're going to go forth from here later tonight and hold those wishes from the other person or persons in your mind over the next few days, or if they had a piece of paper, you can read that, reflect on it, hold it in your mind, pray it, whatever your orientation is. That's what we hope. And in this way, we're all connected. Now, we'd like to connect in another way as well. One of the reasons for having the candles, beside it being a really nice literalism, candles for COP, is also to place them out. And we're going to have you kind of file over in that direction, right in front of Colleen and Lynn. Lean over and put your candles down, and they'll help to direct you. But we want to make a 1.5 and a little circle for the degree.
Can I do it? Is it supposed to go in a line?
In a line.
I think this is a 5.
I got it out of here. I'm in.
One first.
That's what. And then we're gonna put a point. And then we're gonna do a 5.
Yeah. There is always a light. If we are ready to see it, there is always a light. If we are ready to be in, to see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night, we got to climb that hill. Together we will. There is always a light. If we are ready to see it, there is always a light. If we are ready to be it, see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night, we got to climb that hill. Together we will. There is always a light. If we are ready to see it, there is always a light. If we are ready to be it, to see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes through the dark of night, we got to climb that hill. Together we will. There is always a light. If we are ready to see it, there is always a light. If we are ready to be it, to see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes through the dark of night, we've got to climb that hill. Together we will. There is always a light. If we are ready to see it, there is always a light. If we are ready to be it, to see the light, to be the light, to raise our eyes in the dark of night, we got to climb that hill. Together we will.
Hey, thank you. Let's come in close together in a nice circle, and Randy will just give us a closing prayer.
So can we come in together in a nice circle and then we'll wrap up? And if we huddle together, the wind won't catch us quite as much, you know? I love the song that Cassie and Suzanne just ended with, and it reminds me of this line that Lynn was going to read out, and I think is a really good way for us to ponder why we are here. And I wish I had said this to CBC when they're over here. Let us think about the power that we hold as community to help shape the future and the world. And I'll close with a prayer of intercession for COP27. And then we'll have a sending off song. And you can walk off as they send you off. As the United Nations Climate Conference continues in Egypt, let us bring our thoughts, our prayers, our hopes, our desires, and our dreams to that which is the ultimate in the universe. Let us remember the created earth and all who form the community of creation. We hold our hopes and our prayers for each other and for all beings of faith, that we may speak and act together in the ways that we can, as we urgently work towards good care of creation, and to recognize the presence of the divine in all living things. We hope and desire and dream of a world that recognizes the interdependence of all living beings, the beauty and flourishing of the planet that has been plundered and misused for generations by human activity. And we pray that those who bear more responsibility will confess and commit to changing our ways, and that those who are facing more of the troubles on this planet that is glorious and beautiful in its origins and its intentions may find justice and peace as all peoples and all beings work for care of this, our common home. And all the people gathered here said, hi, hi, amen, whatever you want to say.
May it be so.
May it be so.
Our closing song, and a big thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. Give yourselves a hand.
Thanks for being here, everyone. We're gonna close with a song by Emma's Revolution called "Never Turning Back."
Yeah. Just gotta keep on moving forward. I gotta keep on moving forward. We gotta keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Gonna heal this world together.
We gotta heal this world together. We gotta heal this world together. We gotta heal this world together. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Gonna end the devastation.
We're gonna end the devastation. We're gonna end the devastation. We're gonna end the devastation. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Gonna reach across our borders.
We're gonna reach across our borders. We're gonna reach across our borders. Gonna reach across our borders. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Gonna keep on singing loudly.
We gotta keep on singing loudly. We gotta keep on singing loudly. We're gonna keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Gonna keep on moving forward.
We're gonna keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward. Gonna keep on moving forward. Turning back. Never turning